Welcome back to another Spirit Island video. In this video, we're going to be continuing my PvP number 6, this time looking at Red Team. Now, Red Team is going to have a different adversary combination than Blue Team, and as you can see, this is the combination that was given to Red Team. And we have Russia 4, England 4, and I've already talked about Russia 4 in the previous video, but once again, you're going to have these unkillable explorers, extra damage explorers. Lands with 3 explorers are going to ravage or match that ravage card. And then this very crazy um, invader deck of 2s and 3s. Now, instead of having HME, they're going to have England 4, and this one is a killer. The biggest thing is they're going to have these adjacency builds. So if a land is empty, but it's adjacent to two buildings, then it will build even if it is empty. But now it does have to match that build card. The other thing is there's going to be this high immigration tile, and that tile is going to be right here. And it's going to be here the rest of the game. So every turn, invaders will build, then they'll ravage, and then they'll build again, and then explore. So this is going to add a lot of staying power. This combination is not div 10.5. I consider it around 11.5 to 12.5. Jury is still out on that. It is very challenging. And it's a great way to play these adversaries if you hate playing with Russia 5 or Russia 6, like the Russia 5 bombs, or Russia 6 having to Russia 6 every turn, and then also England having unkillable buildings. But really, what makes this so difficult is this part here. It's that Russia 4 having the alternating 2s and 3s is just so brutal of a deck. Now, this was given to them, and then Team Red was able to draft a team, and look what we got. We got a very interesting combination. We have the iconic Ocean and Voice combo, and then they also added in Bringer. So their very first draft was Oceans, and they chose the Deeps aspect. We have some Deeps players here, and then we have Voice as a follow-up to combo with Ocean. During the banning process, what ended up happening was his Finder got banned, and then immediately after, Blue Team had a choice of banning Travel River or Voice, and they ended up deciding to ban Travel, and then Voice was picked by the Blue Team. And then the last option that not Blue Team, the last option that Red Team went with was Bringer. And they also went with the Enticing Bringer aspect. So this is these are the spirits. It's going to be very interesting. This is a very tough combination. And this is a very squishy team, especially with Ocean and Bringer. So let's see if they can make the magic work. Okay, so we have Voice. They did top, bottom, growing, and they decided to grow over here in H4 as well as over here in E7. We have Ocean decided to do the traditional G2 bottom, bottom. They played Tidal Boon and Call of the Deeps. And they'll be getting these Deeps innates, but that will occur next turn. Now, because they G2'd bottom, bottom, both of these presents went in both of the other oceans. So now both of these spirits are going to be able to push things into the oceans. And that's something that both of these spirits can do quite well. And then we have Bringer doing the classic G4 into Predatory and Call on Midnight Streams. Call on Midnight Streams is going to give Bringer a major, which we'll see up here. And then Predatory is going to give them some damage in the slow. Okay, so now, actually, one of the things that Bringer does is instead of playing Predatory, they like playing Dreams. I don't know why they decided not, because Dreams allows you to unlock that tier of the left innate. But I guess they're going to go with Predatory. Maybe that's because they'll be able to drown some stuff into the ocean. Okay, so what did they do? So Ocean Deeps uses all of the deeps, and they're going to gather this explorer out of E4 into E3, and it's quite interesting. Oh, I forgot to mention Ocean's starting presence. They chose E3 versus E2. E2, it tends to be very common because then you can quickly drown this town, but they purposely put their starting presence on E3 to play around the edge case of wetlands coming up and then being able to stop it, which I think is quite clever of a plan. So they were able to stopping this build, assuming this town gets taken care of, which it will, because remember the England rule of the adjacency. So, okay, so they did that. They did Call of the Deeps. Let me change this. Go. And then I believe Bringer was next here, and Bringer uses the right innate. Let me go pull up what exactly was done here. And they're going to gather the Explorer from D3 into the D ocean. So they're gathering this Explorer into the ocean here. And that will generate one fear because it will kill the Explorer, but because of Russia 2, the Explorer will live and it will wash ashore on the coastline. And then Explorer is going to end up in D2 here. Still going to build, so I don't know, it'll be interesting to see what they do there in this building because of the two buildings here. So we have Call on Midnight Stream, and that's this card. And this is where they're going to choose a land. They then gain a major power, so they're going to choose this land over here on D7. These are their majors, which are pretty nuts, right? We have Instruments, Exaltation, Volcanic Eruption, and Transformative Sacrifice. Some really spicy majors. And the major they decided to go with was Transformative Sacrifice. And maybe it is the right choice. I'm not sure. I don't play much Bringer. It's not a spirit for me, but they decided to go with it. They then chose to forget Call on Midnight Stream to gain energy. They ended up gaining 2 energy over here. And then they'll be able to play the card. And that's exactly what Call on Midnight Stream does. They then chose Wandering Voice. Now, this could be very big depending on what Voice gets. Voice is going to destroy presence on H7, E7, and H6. So basically all the presence on their board. And they are going to get 3 cards. And this is what they got. They got Enticing Splendor, Thriving Choke Fungus, and Animated Rackroot. Not a bad set of cards. Enticing Splendor is actually a great card for you, or for Wandering Voice. Wandering Voice uses that left innate to push the Incarna. They push it over here into H7, allowing them to move this town out of that land. They want to push it out, and that town is going to get pushed into H6 with a strife on it. And then now they have an Enticing Splendor, and they are going to use Enticing Splendor to gather the Explorer out of H7 into H6. So wow, that Enticing Splendor hit, stopping that blight over here, which is quite nuts. Wow, that is insane. So we have that left innate, Enticing Splendor. Oceans uses Call of the Deeps and also the Transformative Sacrifice. So what an interesting turn here. They are still building here, here, and here, and here. So let's, I think that's it for these actions. So I guess I do get to build. Do our builds. Build, 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 and build. Once again, they're going to build into that D3 because of the adjacency on D2. As I'm just making sure everything is nice because they get to see everything looks messy. All right. And their Explorer, just like the last game, or just like the other team, they are getting Sands. So both teams got Sands as their starting Explorer. There it is. So that is it. And now I'm going to update both teams on the board state. And now I can reveal the 10 events. So these are going to be the events that both teams gets to pick. We have Anomalous Dawn, Life's Tilt, Wounded Lands Attract Explorers, Focus Farming, Provincial Seat, Civic Engagement, Investigation of Dangers, Frontier Calls. Ooh, this is a spicy one. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Eager Explorers, and of course, Gradual Corruption. So both teams are going to get one of these events, and they'll also pick one of these events for the other team, and it's hidden information. So that's their next step here. In addition, they're going to pick the next team's Explorer. After that is done, we'll move into the slow phase, and I will give you guys an update then. If you guys like this video, like, subscribe for more content. I will see you guys in the next video.